The Amazon rainforest stretches like a green ocean, vast and endless, hiding secrets that mankind has only begun to uncover. Beneath its canopy lies a world untouched by time, where the air hangs heavy with mist, and the calls of unseen creatures echo like whispers from another age. It is a place of wonder and terror, beauty and nightmare, where every leaf may conceal a predator and every shadow may harbor a legend. Travelers who dare to step into its depths speak of things that defy imagination, things that make the boundary between myth and reality blur into a haunting truth. In this place, life thrives in its most raw and untamed form, and death waits silently in forms as subtle as a venomous sting, or as brutal as the jaws of a beast hidden beneath the river's dark surface. Long before explorers carved paths into this dense wilderness, the indigenous tribes told stories of spirits and monsters, guardians of the forest who punished those who disrespected its balance. At first, outsiders dismissed these stories as folklore, but as scientists, adventurers, and wanderers ventured deeper, they returned with accounts so strange and chilling that even skeptics began to wonder if the tribes were not speaking in riddles but warnings. For the Amazon is not just a jungle. It is a living, breathing labyrinth of creatures, some known, many unknown, and some so horrifying that they seem torn from the pages of nightmares. The first true encounter that shook the outside world came from a small expedition that ventured upriver in search of rare medicinal plants. Days of rowing under the relentless sun and nights of restless sleep under mosquito nets brought them to a remote lagoon, still and silent, bordered by towering saber trees. They thought they had found paradise, but paradise soon revealed its fangs. As night fell, the water rippled with movement. Eyes glowed just above the surface, hundreds of them, reflecting the torchlight. They were not caimans, nor the eyes of familiar river creatures. They belonged to something else, something larger, their bodies shifting beneath the water like shadows of giants. One explorer later wrote that he saw a massive, serpentine-shaped glide silently past their canoe, its scales glistening faintly before vanishing into the depths. The tribes had a name for it. The Yakamama, Mother of Waters, a creature so immense it could swallow a man whole. But the Yakamama is only one among thousands of horrors said to lurk in the green abyss. In the trees, hidden among vines and moss, there are spiders the size of dinner plates, their hairy legs brushing against the bark as they move silently in the night. These spiders are not the common tarantulas one might see in captivity, but monstrous predators whose bites carry venom that can paralyze small animals within seconds. Travelers who vanish without a trace are sometimes whispered to have been cocooned and drained by these arachnid hunters. And yet, for the locals, such creatures are nothing extraordinary. They are but one thread in the endless tapestry of Amazonian life. The forest floor itself writhes with unseen dangers. Centipedes longer than a human arm slither through the leaf litter, their armored bodies gleaming under flashes of lightning. Ants march in armies so vast that they devour everything in their path, stripping flesh from bone in minutes, leaving behind only a white skeleton as evidence of their passing. The indigenous tribes speak of devil ants that swarm without mercy, entering even the nostrils and mouths of sleeping animals, suffocating them in a frenzy of mandibles. Yet perhaps the most chilling encounters are not always with beasts of tooth and claw, but with creatures that blend into the forest itself, waiting with patience that defies reason. There are frogs no larger than a fingertip, brightly colored like jewels, whose skins carry enough poison to kill several grown men. A careless touch can be fatal, and even the tribes handle them with rituals and respect, for they know that nature gave these fragile-looking beings a weapon deadlier than the fiercest predator. Still, it is the unknown that frightens most. Deep within the unexplored regions of the Amazon, there are sounds no one can identify, guttural cries that echo through the canopy at night, shaking the courage of even the bravest. Sometimes it is a low growl, sometimes a piercing scream, but always it comes from places too dark and tangled to reach. Entire expeditions have disappeared, their last reports describing strange silhouettes moving just beyond their torchlight, shadows that walked upright but melted into foliage when pursued. Legends held Mapingwari, a monstrous guardian of the jungle, towering, reeking of decay, with claws that can tear apart trees and a scream that freezes blood. Though dismissed by scientists as myth, the number of accounts grows each year. Hunters, woodcutters, even seasoned explorers have sworn to have glimpsed it, their faces pale with terror as they describe a beast that should not exist. Some say it is a surviving sloth-like giant from prehistoric times, Others insist it is something beyond explanation, a spirit made flesh to protect the secrets of the forest. But not all terrors in the Amazon dwell on land. Beneath the surface of its endless rivers lurk creatures equally unsettling. Electric eels that can unleash shocks powerful enough to stun a horse, giant catfish that grow longer than man, and stingrays whose venom leaves victims writhing in agony. Yet even these pale in comparison to whispered tales of shadowy forms gliding silently in the depths, unseen yet felt, vast enough to rock canoes with their passing. The rivers of the Amazon are both lifelines and graveyards, their waters carrying both nourishment and nightmares. For every creature that science has cataloged, there are countless others still hidden. Biologists who set camera traps deep within the forest often capture fleeting images of animals never before recorded, eyeshine that does not match any known species, footprints too large or too strange to belong to familiar fauna. The Amazon hides its mysteries well, and perhaps that is its greatest terror, that we may never truly know what dwells within. And yet, among all the fear, there is wonder. The same jungle that spawns nightmares also creates miracles. Flowers that bloom with colors more vivid than any artist could paint. Butterflies with wings like stained glass. Birds whose songs weave melodies more haunting than any human composition. The balance of life and death, beauty and terror, exists side by side in this green cathedral. But those who walk into its heart know one truth above all. The Amazon does not reveal itself without a price. Every step deeper is a step into the unknown, a gamble with forces older and stronger than humanity. The tribes who call it home do not see it as a place to be conquered, but as a realm to be respected, a world with its own laws, where man is but a guest, tolerated only as long as he remembers his place. For in the Amazon, the line between wonder and horror is as thin as a vine, and those who forget it often become nothing more than another story, another whisper carried by the wind to the endless canopy, warning others of 1,000 terrifying creatures that guard the mysteries of this living, breathing wonder of the world.